Backlog.
Man, what did you think of Hulk episode 1? I gotta ask you.
All right.
Here we go.
So
I'm so curious to hear what you're gonna say.
the CGI has improved
Yep.
since the trailer.
Agreed.
Not a whole lot, of course, because it's still just like a full-length like show, which I understand. It's fine. I hate the main character.
I think I can
hate
see why.
She-Hulk because all she does is spew hate. In that first episode, she just talked shit the whole fucking episode. I'm just like, what is this? Why? I don't know. Like also she was just so perfect and didn't have to work for anything. And
okay, so real quick, guys, if you haven't seen She-Hulk, I'm gonna preface this as well. This is gonna contain spoilers. Just to be fair. So.
Oh yeah, and Jim, Thundercats.
I personally really liked the first episode. I thought it was great. Did you see the ending credits of She-Hulk?
Yes.
Okay, so you saw the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I think, look, so your problem with her is that you're not seeing it from her perspective, in my opinion.
Okay.
So from what I know and from what I've heard, is that Bruce Banner has he sort of has two personalities within him, obviously. He has Hulk, and then it's him, right? But the only reason that he developed these multiple personalities is because of him being abused as a child, essentially by his dad. So, She-Hulk, and supposedly from her point of view as a woman, is able to control being a Hulk a lot easier because she doesn't have that barrier that Bruce had of dealing with his trauma from his past. And so, like, he assumes that she's going to have to do the same thing that he did. But, I think the ultimate message was the human experience is different between every single person. Where,
That's fair.
And she even said, well, as a woman, she has to control her emotions. If she's angry, she's this. If she's sad, she's this. And it makes sense. And I've like dating for a while, talking to other women, in my personal experience, I have heard people say the same thing. And so but what I honestly think that makes this interesting is, I think that her sort of saying, well, everything's fine, it could mean two things. One, it is very literal going to be a good time comedy TV show where she ultimately wanted to get straight back to being a lawyer. Could be that. But also, what it could mean is she could be being neglectful of what it means to be a Hulk, and through this first season, she's going to learn, like, oh, maybe Bruce has some points to, like, whatever her struggle is, she's going to figure that out. Like, it's not quite as black and white as she thinks it is, but I can see why, some people are saying, I don't think that there's much of a, like, there's a lot of, like, people hating on the show and coming from, like, a feminist, like, point of view, saying feminism's bad or whatever, but of course that's just always like high publicity, like trying to get attention type shit. Which I think like that sort of stems from the inability to understand where people are coming from or seeing outside of yourself. I think I think she's going to be a more interesting character. And I personally, I really like her. Yeah, man, I'm excited to see where the show goes. I did think that the CGI
Yeah,
was kind of shoddy at first, and you could see,
it,
you could
it
very
happened.
much see them making adjustments to. Oh yeah, people were complaining about the CG, and they went back and adjusted things.
Yeah,
Um, and the like they really needed to have this first origins episode of She-Hulk where
yeah,
it had to happen. And it was funny because at the beginning
exactly.
of the episode she very literally says, look, I got to tell you how this goes because we want to have a fun lawyer show.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like the fact that the show is, well, of course, like she's speaking to the camera, she's breaking the fourth wall like she's supposed to do, right? you know um
Yeah.
and I liked how they didn't do the fourth wall thing too much. They made it very subtle, and I guess She-Hulk in the comics also breaks the fourth wall quite a few times.
Well, okay, so from a comics side,
Hmm.
like I've read some She-Hulk. She-Hulk is more of like a comedy driven kind of thing, like situational comedy with superheroes.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Like I think the show like overall is fine right now. I
Hmm.
just don't like our main character. She's just so bitter
she
and
she
spiteful
Yeah,
and just says the things that she knows will hurt people the most.
see, that's the thing, is like those things that you don't like about her make me feel like she's a real person, where it's like, yeah, this is her cousin, and ultimately, I know She-Hulk is kind of mean, but you also have to remember that in the comic books, from what I've seen, is that She-Hulk and Jenny, Jen, basically, and Bruce are like brother and sister. So they're very close when they were being brought up. So they can talk to each other
Close
that
ass
way.
cousins.
Yeah, they're close ass cousins. They can talk to each other that way. Um, and so I've accepted that. What I didn't like the blood transfusion thing, where
Oh,
it
that was a
it,
meme.
it, it was
It
literally
wasn't
like,
even a blood transfusion thing. It was like a drop. Oh no! Oh, it's drop.
yeah,
In the comics, she like gets in like a serious accident, right?
mhm,
And the owner only blood like transfusion donor available is Bruce.
yeah.
And so she gets like an actual like blood transfusion,
Let me tell you how I remember it, and
which made it a little more believable than oh no, a single drop of blood. Oh, Hulk.
um, how I remember it is I only remember it from the Hulk TV series, like
Oh,
from
okay,
the animated TV series,
okay,
where
yeah.
she's like she's on a table and like he has to do the blood transfusion, and then whenever she gets up and she's this attractive woman, which she is. I
She
strangely
is, yes.
uh
Okay.
and I don't know. I personally, I dig the character. I dig the show. I think so far from the first episode, this is my favorite. Like, it has the momentum to possibly be my favorite Marvel TV show that they made out of all of these so
Okay.
far. Um, because I think that a lot of the Marvel TV shows sometimes take themselves too seriously.
Hmm.
Like Moon Knight and
Captain
Captain
Falcon.
Falcon.
Yeah. Yep.
Captain
Captain
Falcon.
Falcon.
That's about to take it very seriously. Um, what else? WandaVision. I mean, I know it was like
I
kind
never
of.
even watched WandaVision. I just didn't even bother.
You should probably watch it.
I probably should, but
It's so yeah, like I think that this show is going to be a good time. I do understand where people are coming from with the CGI.
She-Hulk in
She,
the animated series was eye candy for thirsty guys. Well, I mean, She-Hulk in the
she
current show is eye candy for thirsty
and,
guys.
and supposedly in the comics she has like the highest body count of like a lot of other superheroes. Um, so I mean they know what they doing. But yeah,
She-Hulk's always been horny design. It happens.
yeah, right. And I think like I think the I feel bad saying it, but I think the actual CGI character looks better than her actual actual counterpart. I mean, like
I think they're
that.
both hot. So
Oh yeah, she's cute, but she's a little too skinny for me personally. But again,
oh, okay. Fair enough.
uh, anyway, man, what would you rate this first episode of She-Hulk? Some people said there's a foot fetish in the first episode. Dude, look, first of all, if anything short of that jury introduction of her super, I don't consider it a foot fetish anymore. I'm sorry, dude.
So personally,
It's Street Fighter
I'm
6.
sitting at like a 6.
Okay.
I think the show has a lot of room to grow and it could be better, and I'm not opposed to watching more
Hmm.
because I would like to see her character improve from my point of view.
Yeah, I think
To kind of see that, oh, I was being a raging bitch here. Oh, right, okay.
she she okay. I think honestly
It is gonna happen.
I feel like she's a human person. I feel like she has her own thoughts, and I think I respect her quite a bit.
That's
And
right.
I wasn't bothered by her being angry. I You know what sucks here is out of this like 1 out of 10 system, I keep giving everything a fucking 7. But you know what? This is also a 7 for me. It's a 7. It's a 7. And I hit this.
Seven's forever.
Seven's forever, dude.
I mean, it's fine as long as it doesn't dip below a 5. Then we have problems, right? Because like our scale's pretty like fair, I guess, more fair than the traditional like 1 to 10 scale. Because some people see like a 7 as this show's fucking garbage, actually.
How do we
You
feel
know,
about
like that kind of stuff.
How do you feel about the other Disney Plus shows? I don't know, man. I think I don't know what I would rate it because I can't remember all of the Disney Plus shows. Like WandaVision, I don't
Um,
know. That's like a 4 or 5. I don't really care for it that
damn.
much.
And you said I should watch it?
I think you should watch it for lore
A
reasons.
4?
It's
A
important for lore.
4?
It's important for lore reasons. It
Yeah, I
it,
mean, like,
it
she creates her own little
if you
world.
okay, if you watch Multiverse of Madness, you need to watch. I would say watch this first, WandaVision. I don't think it's the best one. I think WandaVision's pretty mid, for me. Um, the let's see. I think Moon Knight is probably comes up second. Then Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So far, She-Hulk is number one, but it's only been 1 episode, so it's not fair for me to compare it.
I
Um,
mean, Loki's my number 1, so.
Loki is number 2 for me. Loki is fun. Loki is fun. I like Loki because I like the idea of Loki falling in love with himself as being such a narcissist that he's like, yeah,
Quite literally,
I
yeah.
love me a lot, and you know what? The only person I can love is me. I love that idea. I think it's hilarious. What do you how would you rank the shows? Do you have like a? I mean, obviously you can't say WandaVision because you haven't seen it yet.
No, I can't say WandaVision. I guess it'd be like Loki.
What's number 2? They're all kind of mid, right?
God, they're all so mid. Loki.
Captain Winter Soldier, Captain Falcon, chess.
I was considering Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it started weak, the middle was good, and then ended weak for me. And
I don't think
that to me makes me move it down.
I mean that I think that takes the third place for me because I'm a
I mean,
huge
there's
fan
not a
of
lot of
Captain
choices here,
America.
right?
Yeah.
Like, what do we got? We got freaking Hawkeye.
Oh shit! I forgot about Hawkeye. Fucking, I didn't even rank
You
Hawkeye.
forgot that even happened.
Yeah. See, I don't like Hawkeye. I don't like Hawkeye because I don't like Man, I hated Hawkeye. A lot of people liked it. I just don't think it's very good. It ruined the Kingpin for me. I don't like how it's the whole idea, the whole joke is like, well, Hawkeye is like it needs better branding, and then by the end of it, they just find like a character to replace him.
I know my ranking. Okay.
Okay.
It's Loki,
hmm
the What If anthology,
I actually like What if you count
and
that.
then probably Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And then I guess She-Hulk could be after that, followed by
I don't think
Falcon.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
So I guess in terms of TV shows, like those have all finished. So I can't really actually count She-Hulk yet because
Hawkeye,
it could end horribly. It could, you know what I mean?
I mean, it started, I guess, better than a majority of them. So
Mhm.
the whole thing is just kind of eh.
I really enjoyed.
I'm not a super huge fan of the MCU Disney Plus.
I like What If because it actually had the balls to like
What If was fun.
delve into other worlds and be like, yo, what if this happened? And you know, obviously they're like testing the water to see what people like. I don't know. I dug it, and
I mean, some of the stories I absolutely hated.
Like what? Which ones did you hate?
Let's get over that. I honestly hated the zombies.
I'm okay with that. I like the ending. I like how ultimately all of What If actually mattered by the end of it. It wasn't just necessarily a telltale story. I like how it's like, oh, well, there's a reason why we're bringing all these characters in it.
Yeah, I didn't care much for uh, Peggy as Captain America. I didn't care much for that.
I look, man. She's for a very specific person.
Oh,
okay?
I understand this. Yes, a very specific
you know
clientele is
Listen.
interested in the Peggy character.
Look. Whoa. Okay, I'm not even gonna read that afternoon tune. I'm not even gonna read that, dude. Look, I did like I liked her as a character. I even liked her in Multiverse of Madness. I thought she was cool. And
Oh, my dead last is Miss Marvel.
Dude, I even forgot about that. That has to be like in the bottom, like it was just so.
I mean, maybe if I see WandaVision will take that bottom spot. But for now, Miss Marvel has a very firm telekinetic grip on it.
Yeah, it was. Miss Marvel was fun, but very, very much mid. At times she was fun, but I don't know. I don't really care like what actually happens next to the character. But I think the second season will be better, so I have to be kind of fair to it. You know what I mean? I'm excited.
Even putting it on my list feels fair.
I mean, the fact that I forgot about it just has to be in the lower rank.
Yeah, there you go.
So anyway.